Welcome back to Twisted Tales of Murder. Strange things go bump in the night, and Halloween has become a festival of mayhem, a celebration of all things dark and twisted. Whether you're wandering through a haunted house, dressing as your favorite horror villain, or getting lost in a chilling movie marathon, Halloween brings out fascinations with fear. While many of us delight in the spooky season's thrill, for some, Halloween is more than just harmless fun. It's a night when real-life nightmares steps into the light, and the line between playful scares and genuine terror fades away. The stories you will hear today of the true horror that have unfolded on Halloween night reminds us that sometimes the scariest tales aren't the ones told around a campfire. They're the ones that happen right outside our doors. Before we dive into tonight's Halloween Killers, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're drawn to the dark side of history and crave a truly chilling tale. Here on Twisted Tales of Murder, we explore real-life horror, mysterious crimes, and eerie events that prove truth can be more terrifying than fiction. By subscribing, you'll never miss a single story as we unravel sinister secrets lurking in the shadows. Join us if you dare. First up is the chilling story of the Toolbox Killers, a true Halloween horror that lingers in the dark places of crime history. Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris prowled California's streets in the late 1970s. Notorious for their sadist and calculated killing spree. On Halloween night in 1979, they encountered Shirley Ledford, a young woman leaving a party. A Halloween party, that is. What followed was a nightmare beyond comprehension. Shirley was abducted and subject to unthinkable torture, with every moment captured on audio, a recording that later revealed the full extent of her suffering. Her cries, pleading for mercy, were met with cold brutality as the killers wielded their toolbox of torture instruments, inflicting horrific pain. Her body was then discarded on a stranger's lawn, a disturbing and ghoulish end to a truly ghastly Halloween night. The horrors inflicted on Shirley serves as a haunting reminder that the darkest monsters sometimes walk among us, hidden behind human faces. Our second killer is a man who ruined Halloween for many. One of Halloween's darkest and most unsettling tales occurred in 1974, forever staining the holiday with an undercurrent of fear. 8-year-old Timothy O'Bryan, like so many children in Houston, Texas, spent the evening trick-or-treating. Little did he know a nightmare awaited him at home. Excited and tired, Timothy began sampling his Halloween haul, only for his own father, Ronald O'Bryan, to hand him a pixie stick with a deadly twist. In a chilling act of betrayal, Ronald had laced the candy with cyanide in a premeditated plan to collect on a life insurance policy, intending to use the money to settle his debts. Within moments of tasting the poisonous treat, Timothy fell ill, and he tragically died en route to the hospital. Dubbed the Candyman by the media, the acts of Ronald sparked a fear that continues to this day. Parents everywhere become vigilant about checking their children's Halloween candy, wary of the horrors that may lurk in the innocent-looking treats. Our next killer makes me want to rethink handing out candy on Halloween. In 1957, Peter believed Halloween had dawned to a close. He and his wife Betty had turned off their lights and settled into bed after handing out candy to the last trick-or-treaters. But then the doorbell rang once more. Peter assumed it was a straggling visitor. Grabbing the candy bowl, he answered the door, unaware of the horror that awaited him. Standing at the doorstep was a masked figure who, without saying a word, lifted a gun and shot Peter in the chest, killing him instantly. It was no random act of violence, The masked woman, hired by Joan Rebel, a close friend of Betty's, who allegedly was having a romantic relationship with her, had carried out the murder in a twisted plan fueled by jealousy and unrealistic love. The love triangle web cultivated in Peter's death, casting a dark shadow over the family and Halloween night. The bizarre case left a mark on the holiday's lore, a grim reminder of how betrayal and jealousy can turn even the most familiar of faces into masked killers. Egging cars is often seen as a harmless Halloween prank, but please don't do it. It causes a lot of damage. Anyways, for 21-year-old Karl Jackson, it became a fatal encounter. In 1998, Jackson and his girlfriend went to pick up her son from a Halloween party in the Bronx. As they waited in the car, a group of teenagers threw eggs at the vehicle. Frustrated, Jackson stepped out to confront the pranksters, hoping to end the harassment. Tragically, the exchange escalated in an instant. One of the teens pulled out a gun and shot Jackson, killing him on the spot. For his mother, the pain of losing her son remains sharp. Even decades later, every Halloween, she sends a card to the killers in prison with a simple yet haunting message. It states, "I'm glad you're still here." Her message serves as a stark reminder of the life taken too soon and the consequences of a prank gone horribly wrong. Next is the family massacre, a Halloween horror at home. For 16-year-old Devin Griffin, Halloween morning in 2010 began like any typical day, filled with the promise of leisure and video games after church. However, as he returned home to his Michigan house, an unsettling silence enveloped him, casting a shadow over his cheerful expectations. Concerned, he ventured into his parents' bedroom, only to be confronted with a nightmare that would forever change his life. He found his stepfather, mother, and older brother brutally murdered, victims of a horrible attack that shattered their tranquil home. The assailant was none other than his own stepbrother, William, who had long struggled with severe mental health issues. William's unhinged rage erupted in a violent spree, leaving Devin with the memory that would haunt him indefinitely. The stark reality of such brutality emerging from his own family serves as a chilling reminder of the unimaginable horrors that can hide behind familiar faces. That Halloween morning transformed from a time of joy and celebration into a howling tale of loss and trauma, forever etching its terror into Devin's heart and mind. Our final Halloween murder is an unsolved one. The unsolved murder of Ronald Simon and Elizabeth Platzman. In 1981, the streets of Manhattan, New York, buzzed with Halloween festivities, but within the walls of a particular apartment, a chilling scene unfolded. Photographer Ronald and his girlfriend Elizabeth, a Smith College student, were brutally murdered in their home on Halloween night. Their apartment was found ransacked, yet, curiously, nothing was stolen, leading investigators to speculate about the motive behind this horrible crime. The circumstances surrounding their death remains eerie and unexplained, with whispers of possible cult activity or connections to organized crime swirling in the shadows. Despite various theories emerging over the years, the case has never been solved, leaving it shrouded in mystery and fear. The tragic fate of Ronald and Elizabeth adds another haunting layer to Halloween's dark history. While Halloween is often a time for costumes and candies, these stories remind us that for some, the night holds real-life horror that no mask can hide. As you enjoy the festivities and revel in the thrill of the season, keep in mind the curious tales of twisted tales of murder. where the line between fiction and brutal realities blur, and the shadows of Halloween loom darker than ever. Until next time, stay safe.